Hey everyone, it is Kim and this is Veda Day 16. I have tried starting this video 8 times now. My nose keeps itching. I need to keep blowing my nose. My niece's dog keeps making noise. Hopefully this is the time that works. I'm sorry if you hear her walking in the background. She's just determined to be noisy right now. I've got a finished object. I've got some other stuff started. I've also started working on ideas for the fair. I've never entered the fair before, but I've had some plans to enter this year, and I really want to be able to do it. So I've put together some plans today for that, because our county fair is on August 3rd. The county that I live in now is on August 3rd. Is when you've got to turn your items in, which is actually the day before my birthday, so that's always fun. I want to enter in quite a few items and some big items, so I really need to get started on it because that's only, 3 months away? So I started that stuff today. I got everything planned. There's a few more items that I need to find patterns that I want to do. If you have suggestions for them, I would love to hear them. So I'm going to show you what my plans are for the fair, my finished objects, my new started objects, and let's get started with that. Now I'll start first with, I've got a whole bunch of patterns next to me. Yesterday I was working on this cute little crocheted lamb or baby sheep from the Friendly Red Fox. This is a free pattern, or you can pay for the PDF. I finished him this morning. His head's a little wobbly, but he sits. And this is using Red Heart Super Saver in charcoal. And this is Bernat Pipsqueak in the white. Now, he turned out really cute. He's big, he's squishy, he's very soft. Now, you've got to be very careful with a couple things. This yarn right here, when you're trying to attach the head to the body, you're attaching these yarns together. They can break. They can just rip straight in half. Actually, as I was doing the final row along the top, all of a sudden, it just, some of the stitches just actually ripped out and broke. So I went in and I secured it even more, but in doing the head, I went around and around several times trying to get it. Another thing is when you're trying to sew in, because when I'm sewing in my ends, sorry, he's got a lot of fuzz on him. When I'm sewing in my ends from all the limbs, because this is a lot of sewing on this guy, I put, like with the ears, it was easy. When I'm sewing in limbs together, I send them out through another part of the animal. I crochet back and forth a few times like you do on a blanket or something like that. Then I send it back through the animal to another direction. What I did this time, because if you try sewing this gray in to the white, it sticks out really bad. So what I did is I actually sent, like the limbs, I would send them down into different limbs. And I just crocheted the ends into or weave the ends into the other limbs instead of the white part here. So its head's a little wobbly, but it's cute. Its eyes are they were even, and they're on the same row as each other, but I think this one needed to be over like 1 or 2 more. But I did what the pattern called for. But another thing about the pattern is it doesn't tell you where exactly to attach the limbs, so you have to make that decision on your own. So, if you know about sewing on limbs, then you can pretty much line them up. But he's really cute, really, really squishy. So he is done. Sorry, it's a little dark in here today. It's hard to see him. But again, this is in charcoal by Red Heart Super Saver, and the white is Pipsqueak yarn by Bernat. And again, that is the Crochet Lamb from the Friendly Red Fox. And that is a free pattern or a paid pattern, depending on. Now, the thing that I started yesterday was the Alpaca from Old Soul Crochet. I'm never going to say that right, just so we're all clear. By Valerie. Now, because I did the sheep, as I showed yesterday, I did the sheep. So I wanted to start the alpaca. So with that one, I don't want to pull out any stitches here. I've started the head, and it is more bobble stitches. So I alternated between this and the sheep yesterday, because I kind of got tired of bobble stitches after doing the other sheep. But I need to go get vintage white out of my storage unit when I go get the other yarns out today. So I couldn't go any further on the head without the vintage white, so I just left it like this. Because the bright white just is too... The white that I used on the sheep is just too bright to go up against this. This is the almond color. So I need to get some of my vintage white out of storage, and then I will be able to finish the head and start on the body. So that is a paid pattern from her. Alright, so then let's talk about the fair. Now, something that I'm doing with this is I'm not as concerned about wasting my time making stuff, because everything, for the most part, that I'm doing has a secondary purpose. So, and I'll go through it as I go through each one. Most of it will wind up being for sale in my shows in the fall anyways. So what this will do is it just allows some extra fun in the middle. That it also allows me to do some bigger projects. Excuse me a sec. Sorry about that. My niece's dog came in here again making a lot of noise. Alright, so what I was saying is the projects I'm working on, a lot of them will become available for sale, whether it's I'll post them on Facebook for sale or I will put them in my show. And I'll go through some of that here as we're going. There's not a ton of categories compared to what some people enter. And I also don't do a lot of different projects, so I didn't enter everything that I could, because there's also time to be considered, because I can't spend time on stuff that does not have a secondary purpose. I'm not just going to make something just for the show. So I actually started this one this morning. Now, this is going to be entered in the, let me find my book, the category for Afghan, because there's baby Afghan and knitted and crocheted are two separate categories, and then there is standard Afghan, knitted and crocheted is two categories. So in the crochet Afghan category, I am going to make the full size Wings of Change. Now, I'll enter a picture somewhere in here. I actually did a smaller version of the Wings of Change. I stopped just before the crocodile stitches as a baby gift for one of my good friends who has a baby due any day now. I sent that to her, so I'm going to do a bigger version because, as I've said before, I've never made anything for me. So this is going to be something that is a piece that stays in my house, in my family. So I'm doing this for me, but I'm going to do the full size Wings of Change. And I actually got started on it. These colors are this bright. You've got the red, orange, yellow, green, and I'm doing it in rainbow colors. And I decided, since this was a project for me, I was going to go with the softer, more beautiful yarn. And I'm using I love this yarn because it is so much softer than Red Heart Super Saver. So I've got the red one is, I love this yarn in red. Then I've got, I love this yarn in orange. And this really is that dark. And then I got yellow. And the yellow is called just plain yellow. Which at first I didn't think the yellow was going to go with it, but it really does. Then the green, which I'm currently working on right now, is called Jelly Bean. And then I got blue, which I got the royal blue. And then the last one I got is the purple, which is called grape. So these are the colors I'm going to use. I had thought about adding white in, but I'm going to see what I think about just these colors. Oops, sorry, I'm out of focus. Let me sit still for a second here and see if it'll focus. Hold on a sec. Alright, now we should be back in focus. I'm sorry about the choppiness this video will have. So that's my biggest project, is going to be this Wings of Change. It didn't take me long to do the one that I did for my friend. I got really into it, so it went fast. But it also didn't get nearly as big as this one's going to get. This one's going to get almost, it gets between about 6.5 and 7.5 feet. And the one I did for my friend was maybe about 4 feet. So those last rounds did take forever. And I know the crocodile stitches are the really big pain. Alright, so some of the categories that I want to enter that I do not have patterns picked out for, which I would love suggestions if you have them. There's a category for a scarf, a cowl, and a hat and scarf set, as well as a dishcloth, which I do basic stitch dishcloths, but I'm thinking about doing something different. I'm not sure what yet. Then there is, let's see. That's it for right now. Let me show you the rest of the crocheted items I want to do. Sorry about that. For the toy category, I'm actually going to do the Smog, the African Flower Dragon by Heidi Bears. I'm doing this for 2 reasons. I really want to do this dragon. I've wanted to do this dragon, but this dragon is, let me see, it's 128 motifs. And I did the math on this because I discussed yesterday that I charge $1.25 per motif. Excuse me 1 second. Alright, sorry about that. So in doing this, I think I did the math. It's going to be something, costs about $160 to sell. That's going to be a tough sell. I'll put it that way. I don't know what I'm going to do in that regard. But the main reason I want it is I'm going to use it as a big showpiece at my shows, because my friend is building me these standalone shelves. And they'll have room at all the levels, where at the very top is going to be about 5 feet. So if I put him at the very top of one of these, you'll be able to see him from the other side of the show. So he's going to be more of a showpiece. I'm not sure how many people's willing to put down the kind of money that he would cost if I keep to my pricing. But, I'll figure that out when the time comes. So that is what I'm entering in the toy category. Now for the hat category, which is just a hat, not the hat and scarf, I'm going to enter one of Ira Rott's patterns. And this is the Triceratops hat. I plan on making a bunch of animal and different themed hats for my shows. So this is just going to be whichever one of these that I've got done that I like the most will be what gets entered. So I'm going to do all different types of the characters. But specifically, I'm going to make one of these and enter it in the show. And then it will just be one of probably 7 or 8 that I have done in time for the fall shows. I didn't actually do any hats or scarves or any of that last year. And I really want to do some basic beanies and some animal hats this year, because last year it was all toys. So I definitely want to do some more other things. Now for the baby Afghan, I want to make the Rusty the Giraffe Afghan by Alpaca. I've always loved this Afghan. I have all of the colors to do it, so I actually want to start this in the next several days. But I'm going to make this one for the baby Afghan. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So that is going to be for the baby Afghan category. Then for the Christmas article, I don't know if this is exactly what I'm going to do. There's a ton of Christmas stuff I'm going to be doing. So if I get something else done that I like more, I might use that. But I'm thinking about doing the Santa countdown pillow. There he is. This is by Grammy Joe Lids. All these will be linked down below, but this is what I'm thinking about doing. It is a Santa head, and then it's got a candy cane that you count down the dates until you get to Christmas. I planned on making 2 or 3 of these in time for the fall shows, or at least in time for my November shows. So one of these is what I'm looking at entering for the Christmas article. The last one that is in the crochet and knitting category is, the very last category is called Any Other Crocheted Item. Now for that one, I am looking at doing, and I've already started one of these. I planned on doing about 3 of them, but it is the Josephina and Jeffrey Elephant Pillows. These are again by Ira. I'm planning on doing one of these, at least one of them, by the time for the fair. I've already got one of the headpieces halfway done. I want to do, like I said, 3 of these before my shows start, so I want one done in time for the fair. So that is what I'm entering in the Any Other Crocheted Item category. Now I have one more crocheted project because there's also a crafts category under the arts and crafts section. For those, I'm going to do a latch hook rug. I'm not sure what one yet. I'm going to get a kit, but I want to get a Christmas kit. So I'm going to do some type of a Christmas rug in latch hook for that category. The next category is handmade rug. For the handmade rug, I want to do the Josephina and Jeffrey Elephant rug. So I want to do one of these because I've been wanting to do one of these for a couple years now. Now, this specific one and probably the Giraffe Blanket will not be taken to the shows because I don't even know how you would display them. So what I would do with this, and plus this and the Jeffrey Blanket are going to be one-offs unless I have orders for them. So for these 2, will just be listed for sale after the fair. Is what I plan on doing with the rug and with the blanket. Is those 2 will just be listed for sale after the fair instead of taking the shows. Now, I probably could, because I do have some blankets that are halfway done that might wind up in the fair, but I just don't know how you would display the Jeffrey one to show, not Jeffrey, sorry, the giraffe one. How would you display it to show, the actual picture without taking up a large section of your booth? And that's the same with these rugs. How would you display them? Because a lot of the shows are either outside, or they're in a barn, or they're in something with dirt floors, and I would never, ever, ever put that on the floor to be stepped on. Because I had problems. My big show in November is done in a place where they do rodeos. It's done in an agricultural pavilion. And I had these kids in boots just digging their boots into the packed dirt, sending dust and dirt all over the place. So I would never, ever have those out in that situation to be stepped on. So that is what I'm doing for the handmade rug. Another category under arts and crafts is the stuffed toy. Excuse me a sec. Sorry, I don't want to have to restart the entire video again. For the stuffed toy, I'm going to do a sewn toy. I'm going to get out my sewing machine. I'm going to sew a toy. What toy, I've not decided yet. I've got 3 more categories here. The other one, we're going to have a Christmas ornament. I've got a ton of patterns for Christmas ornaments. I don't know what one I'm going to use yet. Then there is the soft doll category under the crafts. Now, I have considered doing a bigger crochet doll for that category. But what I think I'm going to do is do a sewn doll. Because by the time we get to this point, I'm going to be so tired of crocheting that another huge crochet project is going to be too much. So for that one, I'm looking at sewing a doll. And then the last category that I'm going to enter is Christmas decoration under the arts and crafts category. Now, for Christmas decoration, the reason I want to enter that is one reason. I've got a vintage latch hook. And for those of you that don't know what latch hook is, it's also called rug hooking. It's when you use yarn and you've got this canvas and you hook it onto the canvas, basically, and it makes a picture. The Christmas decoration, I've got this vintage Christmas tree skirt that I bought many years ago that I really want to do. It is on the top of my pile of craft stuff out there. I just really want to get to it. So, if I think of it, I'll add a picture in. But I want to get started. I want to get that made. Because ultimately, the goal is we are looking no later than the beginning of fall to have purchased our own home. And, we've lived in a lot of homes that were not ours. But this is the first time that it will be, mine and my husband's home that we own. We're not renting from anybody. We're not lining anybody's pocket with rent money. We own it. So we can do what we want, decorate what we want, and I'm excited. But with that, I want to go really all out for that first Christmas in the home that we buy. So I want to have that tree skirt done in time. So I'm hoping that by putting it on my fair list, I will get it done by August, which means I will have it done in plenty of time for the Christmas season. Now, I know this is an insane list, and I'm not saying that everything's going to get done. Now, for some of these, if something doesn't get done, I either won't enter it, or I will enter something else that fits in that category. That fits in that category that I already have done. Because, like, for the crochet toys and things of that nature, I've got plenty done. The dishcloths, I've got plenty done. So, I don't have to do it. I'm not going to stress myself out about any of it. And, like I said, almost everything on here has a secondary purpose. Everything but the Rings of Change Afghan and the latch hook rug and the tree skirt will become available for sale. Those 3 items will be, the other 3 will be items that stay for my home. Which is a good thing, because I do need to take that time to actually make something for myself, and that will help with that as well. So that is my plans for the fair. That will be kind of what you see over the next few months from me. In between the show prep, you also see things that are specifically made for the fair. And then again, that's still technically show prep because it all will become inventory for the show. So that is what today has brought. I hope you all are doing fantastic. And I will talk to you all tomorrow with hopefully some more Amigruimi April and less ramble. Thank you all, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.